peace from the cradle to the grave. And I have traveled it so fast, just as sure as that evening sun goes down, it's gonna be my last. I've traveled this road in the springtime. I've traveled it in the fall.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope everybody's having a good day. It's a beautiful sunny day here, but it's gotten windy and it rained last night. Now we needed the rain, so I'm real thankful for that. Hey, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, and y'all don't forget the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And please check your subscription. YouTube's been doing some funky stuff here lately and unsubscribing bukus of subscribers. Now, I have had some that unsubscribed on purpose, and they let me know the reason why. And everybody, you have your own opinion on things. I just share my opinion on here. But we've had some that unsubscribed over some of the political videos I've made, and I'm still going to be making those videos. If you don't like those, I'm sorry. I don't mean to rub you the wrong way. It's just the way I feel about things. If you don't agree with them, you're welcome to unsubscribe, and you're also welcome to just leave your opinion in the comments. You can keep watching the videos. Everything I do is not going to offend you. I don't think. Now it might. We're going to go over some bug out bag scenarios and get home bag scenarios today. We'll prowl through the woods here, see if we can find different things, maybe discuss them, and I'll show you a few items at the end. This would be a good area right here to camp during a bug out situation. This little leaning tree give you a good place to stretch your tarp or your poncho over it to make some shelter under it. You got some cover here also. This tree top right here would give you some good cover. And there's plenty of wood in there to burn if you needed a fire. There's other trees. Right there's one that's blown over. I like getting out and while I'm hunting, just going over different scenarios in your head of survival situations that you might be in. Now, the reason I like this location, I know you really can't tell on the video here, but it's not on top of the hill, and it's not at the bottom. It's about halfway, middle ways of this hill. And there's some ditches around here also that if you were in a survival situation and you needed to get out of here fast, you could get in these ditches and crawl to safety, hopefully. But I always like to look for places that would offer a lot of concealment if you were camping during a bug out situation. Or a get home situation. If you was trying to make it from where you work back to home during a shift event. You know, lots of people tells you not to walk on the roads. And I agree with that. And if you have a bug out bag or a get home bag that's big enough for clothing, you need to think about that when you're packing your clothes in there. You'll need clothes that can take the briars and all the damage that being off-road will do to your clothing. You don't want to be going through a sawbriar patch with a pair of shorts on. You'll look like you've been run through the meat grinder when you come out the other side. There's a ridge road up on top of this hill. And that's where most people would be traveling. So I want to show you what this looks like if you was up here towards the road. Why I say that this would be a great place to camp. It offers a lot of concealment. You can see back there, look at all the brush and leaves around that leaning tree. You would just look like part of the environment if you were camped up and under there. Those are some videos I would like to start making, is putting shelters up and showing how to cook and stuff at a bug out location. I think those would be some really interesting videos. I'm squirrel hunting right now is what I'm doing, but it's awful windy. It came a flood last night, and there's a cold front coming in. But right here's the ditches I'll show you. See these ditches right here? That runs all the way down through there, right down to that spot where I was talking about fixing a shelter at. These ditches run all the way down to the bottom of the holler down there. So if you needed to get out of there real fast, you could hit this ditch and stay in cover while you was getting away. During a bug out situation, it's going to be similar to a hunting situation. In some cases you're going to be traveling real fast. And in other cases, you're going to be trying to get where you're going, so you're going to want to move as fast as you can, as quiet as you can. Now in dry leaves, you're not going to be able to be super quiet, but neither is anyone else. You'll just have to determine the speed that you want to go and the quietness that you want to keep. I like moving on the sides of hills. It gives you a chance that if you are spotted, you can fall off the hill, or you can go move to the top of the hill to try to get away from the danger as quick as you can. When you get caught up on a big flat spot like this, it's going to be a lot harder to get away from the danger up on a flat spot. And you may not always have protection with you. In some cases, you may be trying to get home to get protection. So you're not always going to be able to protect yourself with something like this. But I always want to be on the lookout for things that might give your position away. Nowadays, you have to worry about cameras. Not just cameras like this. They have cameras that will send the picture to their phones instantly, so they know that you're there right at that moment. Now in a grid down situation, you probably wouldn't have to worry about that a whole lot, but it's still good to always be on the lookout for this. Because like a camera, it'll have the time and date on there of when you walked in front of it. So if they came and checked that camera and seen that you was there just a few minutes before and seen which direction you was going, it would give them a good chance to cut you off. So always watch for something like this. Even after a grid down or a shift event, things like this is still going to be left out in the woods. Now that would make good shelter for the night. You would have to decide that for yourself. It would offer good shelter, but it would also have you concealed up there in a spot that you could be pinned down pretty easy. You'd have to make that decision yourself. It wouldn't make good shelter from the rain or snow. Now this one's mine, and somebody's been here and left the door open on it. That little latch needs turned. Things like that are some things that I don't really think about a lot of times when you're thinking about a survival situation. But things like that, they're going to be left around in the woods even after any kind of collapse. They're going to be there. So it's good to get out and to play different scenarios through your head. Just like this, I've never really thought about structures like that being left in the woods, but they could be a benefit. Now I'm old school when it comes to gear. I use a lot of the old military gear. This one's from World War II. It's a stainless steel canteen. Now they got their advantages and disadvantages. They can be louder than plastic, but I'll take that over plastic. This, I can fill it with water and hang it over a fire and get it to boiling in there to purify the water in. I can't really do that with a plastic one. But this one, you don't have to worry about that. But you do have to worry about sounding like a cow coming through the woods with a bell on. But there's things you can do to take care of that. Now these old World War II canteens, they used to be pretty cheap, and you used to find them a lot around antique stores, but I don't see them so much anymore. And the price of them has gone up. You also can get a cup that they set in, and that cup's made from metal, so you can boil water with it also. I always like to have multiple ways of doing one thing, like 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Pretty much all the gear I've got on here today is World War II era and Vietnam era. That gear, it's been proven to stand up to the use. Now it's not the lightest, but in my opinion it's the best. You can go to the dollar store and get a book bag, and that's a starting place. You don't have to try to have the very best and the very most expensive to get the job done. Think outside the box. Especially in this economy, dollars are hard to come by. So you may have to make your own survival gear, and it's really easy to do. We're walking this ridge road here now. I'm headed back towards the truck. The wind's getting so high that I'm afraid it's going to be messing the video up. I had 2 things I was going to share with you that maybe will help you get started building you a bug out bag or a get home bag. And like I said, in today's society, a dollar doesn't go very far. But I'll show you a couple of things that will help you get started. And they're items that you really do need in your bug out bag or your get home bag. We'll head back to the house, get in the shop where it's a little quieter, and I'll show you what they are. But I want to show you one thing here for city folks and country folks also. But definitely, if you're from the city and you've never been exposed to the country and all the biting bugs that we have out here, you're going to need this if you're going to do any kind of bugging out. Make sure you get you some spray to keep the biting bugs off of you. Now I don't say that bragging, but being raised in the country around a lot of these insects, it does help you. We have family that come around some that wasn't raised out here in the country. And the bugs is really rough on them. Now I think it's to do with their environment, and that's not meaning it mean in any which way. But being raised out here with them, I think you build up some kind of a little bit of immunity to them. Like chigger bites and such, they don't really bother me a whole lot. Now they will itch some, but they don't make sores. I've seen family members that has to go to the doctor over chigger bites. And that's something you're going to have to deal with if you're planning on bugging out for any situation. So always remember to get some good spray to keep on your clothing. Now I don't like to spray it on my skin. I put it on my clothing. But that's just one little extra something there. Now, I told you I was going to show you a few things that you could buy at like the dollar store to get your bug out bag or your get home bag started. And these are really cheap, and they're a big benefit to have in a get home bag or a bug out bag, either one. But maybe to give you some ideas. You don't have to do exactly what I've done here, but it's a place to give you an idea to get started. Now I like bags. You can see here, I've got a bag inside of the bag. And it's got these, I don't remember what these are called, but you can clip it on your belt real easy. Anybody knows the name of those, put it down in the comments, because I forgot what they're called. But anyway, I've got a mess kit inside of that. So I'm always thinking about extra bags. A bag is always handy when you're out in the woods. You can take the stuff out of it. You can use this to pick berries or whatever in. But right here is an item that you can purchase and that you can turn into a survival item. Now this here, I don't even know what kind of can it is. It's got a camel on it. I think it had little nicotine pouches in it or something at one time. But what this is used for is I store stuff in it. That's got my fishing lures and stuff in there. But you'll get you one of these or something similar. Hang on just a second. I've got one over here that I've been working with. It doesn't have to be the little camel can. You can get an Altoids can, just as long as it's a metal can. Right here, I picked these up on clearance. I think these were a dime maybe. But it's a metal pencil can. I don't know if you call it a pencil can or what you call it, but it's metal. Now we're going to be working on turning this into a survival kit, all in itself. Just this right here, but that's not this video. Now I think any kind of metal can is going to work for this. That's got a lid. Your next item that you will need, I don't have a piece of it right here handy, is some 100% cotton material. And you can buy that like at Walmart. Go back to where they have the material at and get you some 100% cotton. What you do with that is you cut you some cotton pieces off, put them in this tin can, and throw them in the fire. That smolders and turns that cotton into char cloth. And what that char cloth will do is any spark, it'll catch that spark and it'll hold that ember to help you start your fire. So this is something that's just bare bones simple. Almost anybody can afford some Altoids. Now, granted, they are a lot higher right now. A can of these probably $2.50 now. But the Altoid can is real simple to find. It's almost in every convenience store, and it's a starting place. Now, you don't have to paint them or anything. Once you throw it in the fire the first time, it's going to take the paint off of it. But that works real well. So a can and some 100% cotton. Those two items, you can buy those and you can start on your bug out bag or your get home bag, whichever one you're trying to build. I make these videos just to give people ideas. I don't expect anyone to try to follow exactly what I do. I've got weird ways of putting things together. Like I said, I love the old stuff. I love the old military stuff. It's been tried and it's true. Now it is heavy. You can buy bags nowadays that's a lot better than this bag here. I can't even tell you what kind of bag this was. The writing is pretty much wore off of it. I think this was probably for some type of gas mask or something. But I use it for a butt bag. The military straps hooks up to it. It hooks onto the military belt. And it just makes a good size little bag, whatever you want to use it for. You can set it up all different ways. But you don't have to have that. You can go to the dollar store and just buy you a cheap book bag. And you can paint that bag. If it's a bright color, get you some spray paint and paint it. Don't be afraid to try to build your own. You don't have to go buy a $100 bag just because somebody on YouTube tells you to. You can do these things on the cheap and gradually. But my opinion is it's time to get started on doing these things. If you've seen things going on in the news, people taking over apartment buildings, the day may be coming real soon that we have to bug out or that we have to survive on our own. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hope it inspired you some, maybe give you some ideas. And if you like the idea of building I guess it would kind of be like a micro survival kit. I've built them with the Altoids cans before. This is just a little bigger. I thought it would be fun to see what all we can put in this. Now I will probably paint this one. So if you like those kind of videos, leave me a comment. I might try to make the video whenever I start putting this together. And I thank y'all for watching. I pray God blesses you. And I'll see you in the next one.